So today we are going to be talking about Hanya, and similar to the way we talked about Argenti in our previous video, where we're basically at the consensus that most of the community is going to be skipping Argenti. Yes, I know there are a select few people that are going to be summoning for him, and of course good luck to you if you are going to be getting him. And of course, if you are summoning on that banner, Hanya is going to be on it. And of course, as we may know, Argenti has quite literally one of the most craziest in value banners up to date, and this is a really cool banner to see. Very good for a lot of free-to-play players, very good for a lot of starting players, because you get a main DPS, you get Hanya, you get Link, and then I'm not sure, I think you get Asta as well. I may be wrong, but that banner by far is absolutely amazing. A really good banner for a lot of people. But we're going to talk about Hanya today, and I think Hanya by far is probably one of the more sought after and one of the more popular characters of 1.5. I see a lot of people saying that they're going to be skipping REHOO, skipping Argenti, but they're going to throw in a couple multis for Hanya, and then they're going to save the rest for Ruin Mei and dr.ratio, which seems very fine in all honesty, especially when you look at Ruin Mei being a Harmony character in a role where we don't have a lot of Harmony characters, and our first 5-star limited character for Harmony. That is a lot of value in the role itself and what she's going to be bringing. I can't wait to see what she does very soon. But of course, Hanya is going to be our brand new Harmony character for the meantime, and she's going to bring a lot of cool things in her kit, with of course the main focus being extra skill points, and then also a speed boost and attack boost, and this is all really cool stuff. Now, the purpose of this video is not really to say anything negative about Hanya, because we have a whole video talking about how great she is, how great her kit's going to be in another video. Go ahead and watch that if you want to learn more about Hanya and her kit. But I do want to talk about Hanya because a lot of people are thinking of summoning on Argenti's banner specifically for Hanya, and I kind of don't want people to waste their jades in places where they don't need to be. But of course, if you want Hanya, go ahead and get her. She's a really cool unit, really nice unit. Again, watch that other video if you want to learn more about her. But there's a lot of characters in this game that are going to be fulfilling the role that she has, and it kind of makes her kit seem a little lackluster when you start comparing other characters to Hanya. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is her skill point regeneration. Of course, this is a very strong thing to have on a character. It's going to allow certain teams that use a lot of skill points up to be able to regenerate them very quickly. Characters that are very skill point hungry, such as Ching Chue, such as Sele, and then also other characters like Dan Heng, of course, which I think a lot of people are looking forward to dealing with. Hanya is going to be such a great unit for that team, and this is going to help a lot when it comes to skill point regeneration, when it comes to having certain enemies take more damage, and also allowing you to get some speed boosts and attack boosts, which of course a lot of these characters in this game are going to benefit from for sure. But when you look at all these characters, when it comes to the nihility path, the harmony path, the abundance and preservation path, a lot of these characters never use their skill, in all honesty, and a lot of them are very fast to the point where if they're not using their skill or they are using their skill, they're probably getting 1 to 2 basic attacks in their rotation before they actually need to start using skill points again. And this makes them very skill point positive. And then throw in some characters that don't even need to use skill points, like example Blade or even Jing Liu, where they have moments in their kit where they don't really need to use skill points, or they stop using them for a certain period of time. And then we also have Topaz, who's really their best option for the most point is just normal attack. You really don't have to skill with her. There's a lot of instances where I see myself using Topaz, or I see myself using Blade or Jing Liu, that I'm capped out at 5 skill points no matter what. And same thing with Dan Heng, especially with his team. You can have characters like Luocha, you can have a very fast Lynx, you can have characters like Pella or characters like Asta, Ting Yun. All these characters are skill point positive no matter what if you build them correctly. So looking at Hanya's kit, because of course we know that Hanya is of course going to be giving increased damage dealt to whatever character that has burden. They're also going to be giving you extra skill points. You're also going to be getting speed increase and an attack increase on ult. So these are all really great things. But when you have Asta kind of doing the same thing, with her stacks giving you attack, with her ultimate giving you speed, she's kind of doing what Hanya's doing, but a little bit easier. Yes, some of her stuff is locked behind Eidolons, but there's still more characters to go. Ting Yun, basically the good old reliable, someone anyone can use and a very great unit to invest in. We have Pella, literally does not use skill points ever because her skill really doesn't do anything when it comes to the majority of the battles that you're going to be in. Yes, it can strip buffs away, but the main point of Pella is going to be using her ultimate, and that is the only thing that you need to worry about. So having Pella going really fast and having basic attacks happen non-stop is going to overall allow you to just get so many skill points that you're going to get capped at a certain point. Of course, a lot of our healers in the game and a lot of our shielders in the game don't really use skill points as often either. Japard, he can use it if he wants to, but for the most part, you just need the ult and then you use your normal attacks until you need your ult again, and that's basically Japard. Luocha never has to heal basically at all. He just uses his skill that comes from his talent, and you really just have an infinite amount of skill points when using Luocha. Fu Xuan, you have 2 turns of basic attacks before you have to reapply the matrix, another skill point positive character. Ho-Ho, same thing. You have another 2 turns to use Ho-Ho's abilities, and then you have to start using the skill points again, still skill point positive. There's just a lot of different characters when it comes to having these healers, these support characters, and with them being so skill point positive, there kind of is no real reason to have Hanya or specifically go for her if you're just going to go for Hanya just for a kit. Now, I don't want to say that she isn't good, because that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say if you have all these options available to you, you might want to relook at the way you're looking at these characters and see that that extra skill point that you're going to be getting with Hanya, that you're going to be getting when you use her, isn't as valuable when you see a lot of these units that are starting to be able to not only not use as many skill points such as Blade or such as Jing Liu, a lot of these other characters that are coming out that are not using skill points as much, or having support characters, healers, shielders that are basically never using their skill points. You don't really need the extra amount of skill points that are coming from Hanya's kit, which is the main focus of it. Yes, she also has the debuff of giving extra damage, and you get that ultimate with speed and attack, which is really nice, but a lot of these other characters kind of overlap in that department, and you can really go without getting Hanya. I think Hanya is still a great character through and through. I don't want to say that you shouldn't go for it. If you really want her, go ahead, good luck to you, because for sure my luck isn't that great to be getting 4 stars that easily. But I do think we need to look at Hanya in a different way, rather than having an addition to a team, rather than trying to say Hanya is the new best character for this team. I don't think for sure that she's going to be the star, focus of a team to be able to make them work 100% or make them work at the most efficient way that you possibly can. I do think she's going to function as a substitute character, whether you don't have these characters that allow you to get your skill points very fast, or maybe even you don't like the characters that you currently have that you put on the team and you just want to put Hanya there instead. I do think she's going to work more of a substitute when it comes to the harmony / nihility path and give you those skill points, and it also makes it a little bit easier since she is going to be allowing you to regenerate more skill points with her skill. You are not going to have to worry about getting a fat ton of speed to be able to spam those basic attacks and give you a lot of that, skill points that you usually would go. So not only is it a substitute for characters that you don't have or don't want to build, it also makes it a little bit easier, a little bit more relaxing when it comes to the substats and the stats that you need for your relics. You don't have to hyper invest in Hanya because she's going to be giving you what you would want from those substats for the relics, which of course is the speed, which allows you to get the skill points back for your DPS. So there's a lot of different ways you can look at Hanya. I do want to say, if you're looking to get Hanya for her kit and kit alone, I do want to say that there's many characters in this game right now, especially from these 4 classes that I'm already highlighting here, that you really don't have to. She is a really nice unit, but there's a lot of really cool units that basically do the same thing she does and maybe a little bit better. Yes, just because they don't automatically regenerate skill points from their kit initially, the speed makes it up, and it's not too hard to get a fat ton of speed on a character. Getting the 2-piece hacker space and then getting speed boots is a really big bump in speed and will allow you to get a lot of turns in, to get a bunch of skill points, and these help out your healers and also a lot of your support units. That's how I build mine. A lot of them have 2-piece hacker space, so you can do it that way. You don't have to initially get these skill points from a kit for it to be busted. You can really build them very easily to get that, and it will just take a little bit of time. Hanya is still a really nice character, so that you don't have to grind, you don't have to stress about substats. She still gives really nice buffs and debuffs, to the respective sides of, the enemy or the team. She's a really nice substitute character. Don't treat it as she's a perfect addition to a team, because she will work on a bunch of teams. Like I said in my previous video, she's going to work on so many different teams in a lot of different ways that she can be used, because a lot of teams of course use skill points, so she will be very nice no matter where you put her. But I do want to say, treat her as a substitute, not as a full-on replacement. She's going to be a really cool unit. I think she's a really fire unit. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. See you on the next one, and peace.